Basically, the issue is about green infrastructure and how it improves cities and it reduces CO2 emissions. Trees absorb CO2 and they take it into their leaves and their bark. But by the way, that's why London popular trees were planted by the Victorians, because the bark absorbs the emissions from the roads, which they had a lot of them because of vehicles and also their coal fires in their homes and all that kind of stuff. But the interesting point is that the chart there is about how we're moving from natural capital being for the natural world, moving to the more human aspect where we're consuming more. Said a lot about that this morning. Trees and green infrastructure do improve cities. We've heard enough about that already, and this is where I kind of want to give you some idea of what you can do. I actually am a member and a trustee of a thing called the Trees and Design Action Group that's been in existence for just a few years, and it's making a lot of progress in government circles, with professional institutes and with academia on how to give people guidance and knowledge about how to introduce green infrastructure into cities. And the young lady at the back there who said, how do you do it with 1.3 million people coming into cities? Well, the information I'm going to show you in a minute will give you some ideas. The issue about trees around buildings is very important. We've heard about from Jeff this morning and others that it can provide shading and it provides social benefits. The studies in America are very clear in their conclusions. It does have lots of social benefits, including the reduction of crime. I might add, that's a very important feature. Might sound a bit strange, but it's true. Trees in inner city areas do call the inner city areas. You'll excuse the imperial terms, but that's the way the information comes from America. Los Angeles is a classic example. Shows that a 6-degree Fahrenheit rise in the last 50 years because of the reduction of tree coverage in that city. Equally, trees in America, they have found, have cooled the inner cities by as much as 10 degrees Fahrenheit, and particularly benefits homes and energy reduction. Of course, a lot of homes in America are air conditioned, so putting trees around homes gives them shading, which reduces their energy bills, which is interesting because we don't have many air conditioned homes in the UK, but nonetheless that is on the up and up. That is increasing. You'll excuse the diagram. I shan't tell you who drew it because it'll embarrass me. Why is it an issue? Well, actually we're losing 15 billion trees a year because of deforestation. Yeah, 15 billion. Do you want me to repeat it to make sure you understand? Right, it's a lot of trees. Yeah, it's a lot of trees. Anybody know why it's called the rainforest? It makes rain. A lot of people, it's a rainforest because it rains in the rainforest. It isn't, it's because it makes the rain around the world. We destroy the rainforest, we actually have a bit of a problem. Yeah? We are losing 15 billion trees a year, as far as they can tell. Obviously, counting trees is not an easy thing to do, and that is a worry. Do we know how to introduce and integrate trees into landscaping? Yes, we do, but there are challenges. People, like insurance companies, do worry about these things. But we do know how to do it, and this is the start of the plug, and we've got, I think, 2 more slides and then we're nearly there. Trees in Hard Landscaping is a freely available guide. It is extremely authoritative, and I'll just give you some views on that. We engaged the Chartered Institute of Building Services Engineers, that's where I fit in. We engaged the Institute of Highways and Transport, Institute of Civil Engineers, Institute of Chartered Foresters, and over 100 professional people contributed to Trees in Hard Landscaping. It is a very well structured document that gives you good guidance on how to introduce green infrastructure into urban areas, including existing areas, of course. It talks about planting, so Jeffrey, thank you for the plug, because if whoever planted that tree had have read this guide, you would not have had a problem. But equally, down the bottom there, this one here, the bottom one, that's also a good information, because that actually is giving guidance to people who make decisions about investment in green infrastructure. So landscape is about technology, the way in which you do it, and the guide for decision makers is why you should do it, and the decision making process to go through. There is also a thing called the iTree project. I don't know how many people have heard of the iTree project. I know there's 2 or 3 people at the front here would have heard of it. Of course you would have done. But the iTree project is a global phenomenon where you can actually put information in and get economic modelling out, as well as the structural modelling out of how to put trees in city areas, and it gives you the economic basis for doing it. I have not got a clue how to use it because I never have, but I know a lot of people have used it. They think it's really, really good. So also, if you're interested in the subject, have a look at iTree project and you'll find some really useful information. Basically, and that's the end of the plug. It's not a plug about the Trees and Design Action Group because we're doing quite well, thank you very much. We've got lots of members and lots more people want to join. That isn't the plug. The plug is that we've got some really good information there that for anybody, architects, structural engineers, highway engineers, decision makers, business people can look at, and in a fairly easy to read way you can see the benefits and the methodologies and the techniques. That's it, end of story.
Thank you.
Okay?